Hello, and welcome to a special edition of our Tuesday 2. My name is Andrew Myers. I'm Director of Finance and Admin here at Hope Walks. And I have the pleasure to be talking to Bernard, who is our program manager of the Clubfoot program in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And we wanted to update our supporters and you on what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC. Specifically this past week, they've had security issues for many years, but most recently in this past week, things have become very tense and very troubling there. And so we wanted to bring you this special edition of our regular video series, Tuesday 2. And so we're on a video call, Zoom call right now with Bernard, and I want to introduce him. And this touches a little close, very close to my heart, because I was just happened to be in visiting our partner clinic in Goma, DRC, last Thursday, when really the security situation started to unfold. And thankfully, I was with Bernard and our great team that were watching out for us. And everybody is safe and all of our team are safe. I'll start off by saying that. Bernard can share some more updates. But I want to just pass it over to Bernard. And Bernard, just start off by asking you, how long have you worked with this program, and how long have you been the program manager there in DRC?
Thank you so much, Andrew. So I've been working for DRC Clubfoot program since December 2018. So today I count over 6 years in service. Thank you.
So you have a lot of challenges working in this country, including Ebola outbreaks, an active volcano on the outskirts of the city of Goma, where our partner and main clinic is located. Currently, we're hearing about rebels fighting to take control of the city and having taken over the city. How is this security incident directly impacting the Clubfoot Clinic with our partner there in Goma at Heal Africa?
Thank you so much. Actually, this is a big challenge to our program, especially for our Clubfoot clinic at Heal Africa. So we are having a lot of missed appointments that can definitely affect the quality of the treatment. Our clinic is currently closed since everyone in Goma is recommended to stay at home, including our healthcare providers. So also I may say that the coordination of program activities of other Clubfoot clinics in the country is also affected in one way or another, because our national office is located in Goma and we cannot access it right now.
Okay. Do you know how many children are enrolled in our clinic at the Heal Africa Hospital currently?
Yeah, actually we have been partnering with Heal Africa since 2011. So from that time till now, we have registered over 1,500 children. So when we look at the last 5 years, where we have all the children on the treatment, we count around 743 children within the treatment right now.
And that's just at one clinic. This is a very large clinic.
Exactly, one clinic.
Last week when we were there, I thought it was very busy, but you actually said it was there were some less patients there because of the security situation. In a normal week, how many patients usually come to that clinic?
Yeah, our clinic day is every Thursday, and every week we are supposed to have around 45 children coming
Wow.
for the treatment. So that time when we were there, we were around 20 something, 23 or
Yeah.
24, something like that. So
Yeah.
a lot of children didn't come.
Wow. What are you hearing from our partner, Heal Africa, in Goma about how long the Clubfoot Clinic may be closed?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, based on the past experience where the rebels have taken some area and they control it, and we have some clinics, actually, the clinic activities are supposed to be resumed soon because where the rebels are, they don't paralyze the activities. So the clinic is expected to be resumed in a couple of days.
Okay. And in the meantime, so clinic this past Thursday was closed. They did not have clinic, is that correct?
Yes, yes. Yesterday they didn't have a clinic, it was closed.
Okay. And in the meantime, what are we hearing about the safety of the families that we serve and the staff that work alongside of us?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Actually, following the fightings in Goma, the city lost internet. We also lost the electricity. So I've been not in contact with staff and families, but luckily this morning I've been in touch with one of our staff, our clinical supervisor, Christian, by a phone call. And I heard that our staff, our program staff, and their families, everyone is doing well. Despite those kind of situation they are passing through. But I also heard that uh, following the fightings, there are a lot of victims, casualties. So we are not sure if among those casualties, the families of children of Clubfoot, they are not a part of them. So it's a kind of a follow-up we are going to do in
Okay.
the coming days. But regarding our program staff, their families, everyone is doing well. But the children, the families of children with Clubfoot, we are not sure about the health status because we have to contact, we have to visit them to see if they are also safe right now.
Okay. And so we have a parent advisor at each one of our clinics. And so we really are correct relying on that parent advisor to connect with the families and make sure that they're doing okay and following up with them despite all of this. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, we do have two punch advisors at Hill
Two.
Africa Clinic. Yeah, we have two, so they have to be in touch with those children, those families to make sure that no one has any problem regarding
Okay.
those conflicts.
Good. Yeah. And so for everybody, some of our clinics, like Heal Africa in Goma, is such a large clinic that we assign two parent advisors for that clinic, just to be able to provide the family support that is needed, and provide more individualized attention. So yeah, Heal Africa, definitely one of the larger clinics, and needs the two parent advisors there. Good. So Bernard, you yourself are in a unique situation because you live in Rwanda. Goma is right on the border of Rwanda and DRC. And so you travel across the border, and I was with you. So I have great appreciation for you now that I've done it. You've taken me along with you last
Yeah.
week. And so you do this every day. You cross the border to go
Yes.
work for Hope Walks and serve the families there in DRC. Is it still possible to enter DRC, or is it too dangerous at this point? What is the current situation like there right on the border?
Yeah, right now, the DRC borders, because we have two borders, they are both closed.
Okay.
So I cannot cross over to DRC right now. And also, we are still in the confusion because the city is still under the control of rebels. So we are waiting for further instructions. But right now, no one
Hmm.
cannot cross over the border of Rwanda and DRC.
Okay. Well, and we definitely want to make sure that you are safe, and that is the top priority for Hope Walks and for all everybody involved here. And so we're thankful that we have great partners and can rely on people on the ground to be getting accurate information, updated information. So thank you for taking the time to share all of this with us as you're right there beside it. Good. So we treat Clubfoot with weekly cast as the child starts treatment. If the child is in the casting phase of treatment, what does it mean for a family that can't get to clinic for several weeks? How will that child's healing be impacted by something like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, when a family can't get to clinic several weeks while on weekly casts, it may affect the progress of the correction, and the condition may get worse, the recurrence of some signs of the fit. So the hearing may take longer, and we can also observe the use of a lot of resources in terms of materials, in terms of budget, in terms of even the time. So the family can also lose a hope as well of hearing. So those are
Mhm.
the big challenges that we may face because the clinic is closed for a long time.
Okay. And of course, we don't know how long this crisis will last. What do you think could happen if the clinic remains closed for several weeks or months? Is traveling to another nearby clinic a possibility for these families?
Yeah, it cannot be possible because the nearby clinics, they are far from Goma, and
Mm,
our nearest clinic is also in an area where rebels are also taking control, and the transportation is not easy for the families. So as impact, we may observe, as I said, some recurrences of cases. We may observe also some dropout of cases or even some delayed clubfoot in the future because the
mm,
clinic has been closed for a long time. So this can be some side effects if of the
yeah.
clinic if it is closed for a long time.
Okay. Yeah. The whole eastern side of DRC has been in conflict for many years and has really prohibited you from being able to visit all of our clinics on a regular basis as well. And this has become even more serious because the rebels are closing in on the main city of eastern DRC. So yeah, I can imagine there aren't many other options for the families right now. Um, Transportation to clinics is always challenging, even in ideal conditions for a lot of the families that we work with. How is fighting? How is the fighting that's happening making access to public transportation more difficult for the families?
Yeah, first of all, the transportation means they are no longer available for the city. So even if a family may have transportation fee, but there is no transportation means to leave the house to go to the clinic. That is a big challenge. And also, they are not sure about the security on their way to the clinic. So that are the main challenges from home to the clinic that the families may be facing.
Okay. How can our Hope Walks supporters help you and your program during this difficult time?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a good concern. Actually, first of the things is prayers. We really need prayers, praying for the peace, praying for the security for our region so that the activity can be resumed as soon as possible. And we are having a lot of families who are displaced and other they have lost their job opportunities. So these
Hmm.
families may be in need of some of support to keep attending the treatment, such as transportation means, like I said, such as food, because they cannot afford something to eat. Those kind of support, some of our families, they really need it. Other families may need support on other health care condition services, like those who are injured. I said we didn't have electricity and water. This can result on some diseases related to hygiene. So they may be needed in a kind of health services regarding on hygiene. And also, we need a lot of home visits for follow-up, like I said. We don't know the situation of our families, so we want to plan with our parent advisors to visit families to
Hmm.
see how they are doing and also to provide the comfort. to restore their hope. So those are kind of support we really need for our program.
Good. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that would be helpful for the whole Hope Walks network and supporters to know about what the reality is there?
Yeah, sure. Actually, the current situation did not affect only Goma Clinic, like I said. It is also affecting the other clinics, like you said, where the conflict has been taking place for several years. And currently, Kinshasa, we have a clinics in Kinshasa City. And this week, we have observed some protests in the capital city of
Hmm.
Kinshasa.
Okay.
So this week, we may observe some missed appointments of some of
Hmm.
Kinshasa clinics because some families were not comfortable to go to the clinics because there was protest in Kinshasa City. Like I said, the coordination of program activities is affected in one way or another, as I said,
Yeah.
because in Goma, it's where we have our national office. So it's difficult maybe to work with other clinics in terms of financial because banks, they are closed. When you want to send like supplies, it's now difficult. So we have to wait for the the peace within Goma so that we may be sure that all of our clinics within the country, they are not affected by this kind of conflicts. So that's what I have to add, that the situation is also affecting other clinics within the country. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And so, for those not familiar with the geography of DRC, it's a very large country right in the middle of Africa. And there's the eastern side, which is where Goma is located, where our HopeWalks partner, implementing partner, and main hospital, Heal Africa, is located. And that is where the rebels have just taken over that city and where the really hot spot of security issues are. But on the far western side is the capital, very large city, Kinshasa. And for most of the time, Bernard, it has been relatively safe over there and
Yeah,
not secure, not the same security issues. And so we've recently started new clinics there. They've been going very well, very promising. And what Bernard just shared was that there's been some protest and some, it's starting to boil up, not in the same way, but just as the reaction of what's happening over in the Goma area. So yeah, where we thought we had a little bit more security, there's some issues there now as well. So really, prayers for the whole country of DRC, for the people there, and yeah, for a good outcome, for some peace to come back to that country.
yeah.
Well, good. Well, Bernard, last thing I want to ask and just talk about is last week or several days ago when you and I and our other colleague were there in Goma. When we walked into the clinic, the parents and the parent advisor were singing a very joyful song, a welcoming song, as I think in Congo and in a lot of Africa, they express their welcome and their gratitude through singing, and it's amazing to see that. But it struck me as the day went on, realizing what was happening around the city and the security issues of they had such joy and were such welcoming, opening their hearts as we came in. And yet they were facing this. Like, what were the families, how were the families being affected on that day that we visited?
Yeah, thank you so much, Andrew, for that question. It's good you remember the warm welcome that the
Yeah.
parents just gave you. It's a good thing. So one of the things, even though we were in a bad situation, but the parents, they are happy for what we are providing to them, the treatment that we are providing to the children with club feet. So that day, the rebels were already trying to enter within the city. And those parents were even aware about it.
Mm,
But because of hope in God, they are protected because it's not the first time to see conflict in Eastern region. but some of parents didn't come. Like I said, our
Mm,
club food clinics used to have like 45 parents, 45 children on a single day. By that time, they were around 25, 24, something like that. So some of the parents didn't come because they didn't have uh, like I can say possibilities of leaving the home and coming to the clinic. And also the other parents were also, even if they were aware about what is happening, they have a hope that God will protect them. So nothing
mm.
can stop them to proceed with the treatment. So that was happening last week when we were together at Here Africa. Yeah.
It's amazing the resilience of the families we work with the staff, with our implementing partner. And yeah, I think that was truly evident in my
Yeah.
visit, and I think we're going to be hearing a lot of stories as some things start to calm down and they're able to resume. They truly are resilient, and we're so grateful for everything that they do, our staff and our partners. And Bernard, thank you for your dedication to serving children with clubfoot and their families in DRC. We will be praying for you and the staff, and we will be relying on you to share updates so that we can pass that on and how others can be praying as well. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us. And in
Thank you
closing,
too, Andrew.
yeah, thank you, Bernard. And in closing, we're gonna close out with the video of the welcome that we actually received in the clinic that day as things started to unfold around the city, just to show it really touched me and resonated with me just to see the joy of the families despite what was going on around them. And it's a privilege to be a part of Hope Walks, that we get to serve families in this way, providing them with such hope, so that their child can truly walk free from the disability of clubfoot. And I think it's really evident in the greeting that they give. And so it's a greeting of welcome, welcome. We're glad to see you, and that just demonstrating their gratefulness, that we all supporters that financially support this, the team of Hope Walks, get to be a part of in the lives of these children and the families. So thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday too, and for being a part of the mission of Hope Walks to see children born with clubfoot set free from the disability of clubfoot. So thank you so much.